Okay, question 3195. If you buy something, let's say we're buying a radio here, and it costs 400 kronas, if the shop increases the price by 10%, you would have to instead pay 440 kronas for the same radio. But then if they reduced the price by 10% after the increase, you don't get back to the original price. Why not? Well, 10% of 440 is actually now 44 kronas, because we've not got 400 here anymore, we've got 440. So 10% is 44 kronas. So if you reduce the price by 10%, you have your 440 original price, and you actually take away 44 kronas instead, giving you 396 kronas. So what they want you to see here is, if you increase the price of a product by 10% and then reduce it by 10%, you will not get the same as your original answer. You will get a different answer. So the 400 kronas with a 10% increase and a 10% reduction does not get you back to your starting price, and that was why. So then they said, okay, what would happen then if instead of it being a 10% difference, this 400 kronas first increases with 50%? Well, let's work out what the increase would be then. We want to know what 150%, 1.5 of 400 in, that's the same as 150%, because 50% increase would be 200, but we've already got our 400 starting point. So 1.5 of 400 is 600 kronas. So if we were to increase with 50%, we'd have first our 400, then the 200 that we are increasing, giving us 600. And you can work it out straight away by doing 1.5 times 400. So our product is now going to cost us 600 kronas. But then after we've done that increase, we now reduce the price by 50%. We give 50% discount. How much are we going to pay for the product? Well, the product is now going to cost a half of 600, which is going to be 300 kronas. So if we increase 400 kronas by 50% and then reduce it by 50%, notice the big difference here. We started with 400, by increasing with 50 and then reducing with 50, we've suddenly made the product much cheaper to buy. We've now gone down to 300 kronas. What happens then if we take this product, which costs 400 kronas again, and we reduce the price by 50%? Well, if we reduce the price by 50%, we'll only be paying half of our original 400, which would mean that it would cost 200 kronas for us to buy the radio. But then that price is then increased by 50%. So first we reduce the price by 50%, then we increase the price by 50%. Well, 50% of 200 is 100 kronas, plus the original 200 that the radio would cost, so it would give us a total of 300 kronas at the end of our sale. So if we first reduced 400 kronas by 50%, we would go down to 200 kronas, and then we increased by 50%, we would go back to 300 kronas. Notice, not at all the same as the original price, even though we first reduced by 50% and increased by 50%. Totally different answers. Let's see what happens then if we have 400 kronas, and the first step that we do is increase by 100%. Well, then we want to know what 200% of 400 is. So we want to know what 200% of 400 is, and of course that's going to be 2 times 400. So if we increase by 100%, the product will now cost us 800 kronas. After we have increased by 100%, we now decrease by 100%. If we decrease 800 kronas by 100%, what is the product going to cost us? 0 kronas. It means that we have taken away the whole price. So we're actually, if I was to do that, if I was a shopkeeper and gave you 100% discount, it would be pretty stupid of me, because I can never make any money if I give you 100% discount. It would be a giving you stuff away. So I would not be a very sensible shopkeeper if I started giving 100% discounts.